Okay, just started. So okay, we are discussing about span of control. Uh, what is span of control? What are the factors that affect span of control? So simple terms, number of subordinates reporting to one boss is span of control, and you should be knowing 2 to 3 points that will affect span of control, like subordinates training, planning, rate of change, okay, of the industry we are talking about, communication technique, kind of activity. Okay, then we'll look at delegation and revisit this once again. Okay, now we will talk about departmentation. Okay, another important thing in this, the questions asked from this topic is explain any two kind of departmentations. Okay, or we'll give you a small case, like if you look at the December and this Jan question paper, one small case was given, some 4 5 lines, some 7 8 lines, one small case, this happened, that, whatever, this, that, which kind of departmentation do you suggest? So you should be able to suggest, okay, I think the best departmentation here is product departmentation, and then draw a small diagram showing product departmentation. So like that. Then in the recent paper there was something about the last one, eighth point there, matrix departmentation. Okay, so you should be able to draw that and explain in simple terms. These are very simple chapter actually, easy marks for you. Okay, very simple chapter. So let's see what is this departmentation. See, first understand what is this organizational chart. Okay, see, organizational chart is, the chart that shows I mean the position of the people in that organization. It shows clear line of authority, who should report to whom and all that. So it's important sometimes so that you know. Okay, if you look at MIT organizational chart, at the top there will be director, then there will be JD, then below him there will be associate directors. Below associate director will be HODs. Okay, below HODs there will be every department's professors, associate professors, assistant professors, and then the non-teaching, like this. So if you see organizational chart, now where will the director's PA come in this? The director PA will come, I mean, report to him. So we have to show that box at the top. Okay, but there is a way of showing it, which we'll see later. Okay, I'll tell you now. It's see, when you're talking about these kind of things, in the organizational chart, see, everybody knows that I am not going to report to director's PA. The director's PA may be reporting to director. In the organizational chart, they may be showed above us, but that doesn't mean they are our authority. So to remove such confusions, such people are showed by dotted lines. Okay, the name of their box is showed by dotted line. That means they are staff. They are not line managers. Okay, we are all line managers. These kind of people who are above us in the chart but not above us in authority, they are called staff and they are showed by dotted lines. Now, if you think about HR department in MIT, they report to director, so they will be shown above us, but that doesn't mean that they are able to give us commands. So such people will be shown in dotted lines. Okay, we'll see that in timing. Now you understand this much. Line and staff concept. The ones who are in correct line authority will be dark lines in the organizational chart. Otherwise, we'll show them in dotted lines. Okay, now we will see step by step. The first kind of departmentation is, departmentation by simple numbers. So you can just imagine what is this simple numbers. Okay, so you have a small task, you need some 10 people. From whoever is available, you are taking those 10 people and running the show. That is departmentation by simple numbers. Okay, see, for example, say I'm taking a class for you in, say, physical classroom setting, and there is a table that I want to take out, and I cannot lift it alone, so I need 4 people. So I'll just randomly pick 4 people. Please come here and help me. I will not tell only 9.5 CGPA people come here, or only less than 5 CGPA should come here now to lift this, or only people from North India will come and take this, or only South Indians will come and help me. Nothing like that. Just 4 people I mean, with whom I have eye contact. Okay, 4 people suddenly eye contact. Come, come, come. Please come here. I'm just lifting and the work is done. Okay, so these kind of things. Departmentation with simple numbers. Say when you came here, your RT-PCR or whatever test was going on and all that. People are sitting there. Okay, so they were decided that we need 20 people from each department. So just 10 people just picked there. Okay, did not go with people with this grade, that grade, with minimum publication, nothing like that. Just pick and go. Okay, that is departmentation by numbers. See, this does not happen nowadays. Okay, in industries. because see, this is era of specialization, no? So many things cross interdisciplinary work and all going on. We cannot simply put some random people in groups. So their grouping happens by specialization. But sometimes, like I told you, RT-PCR test, some emergency, even new people came, we had to be there. So randomly picked by some numbers. Okay, but broadly, when you are doing something, experience and all is counted. Contribution is counted really for some product development or something. That time we'll go by, will not go by this, will go by something else. But this exists. Okay, sometimes that is departmentation by numbers. See, departmentation by time. See, to remember this, another word for this you can keep in your mind is shift system. Okay, people working in shift. That is the synonym of this. Okay, departmentation by time. See, now what happens? Imagine there is a fire incident in, say, some place at 5:30 in the evening. You call the fire service. What if they say our duty is from 9 to 5? I have noted this. Tomorrow early morning, first case will come and handle yours. Will that work? Something happened at 6 p.m. Someone fell and had a fracture or something. You call the hospital, ambulance people say, sir, our duty is 9 to 5 only. Tomorrow morning, first will come and pick you up. Now you manage. No, doesn't happen. See, these things have to be 24/7. Okay, so for such kind of things, we go for departmentation by time. We put people in these kind of shifts. You work from, say, different shift, morning 6 to 2, 2 to 10, and night 10 to 6, like that. So usually seen in your hotels, service. You're traveling and you're staying in a hotel, and you reached at 8 p.m. and they say, no, wait, no one is there, you have to carry your own luggage. Okay, you'll have to stay in the lobby today morning only, you'll get the room because the receptionist is not there. Such things doesn't work. Okay, so for some cases you should have 24/7. So where we go by departmentation by time. Now this comes with some advantages and disadvantages. Okay, so advantages, like we discussed, work is offered 24/7. Okay, and sometimes this helps you in capacity utilization. See, capacity utilization means, see, for example, you bought a machine for 10 crores. Okay, well, if you run it only 9 to 5, when will you get the return on investment? That machine is meant to be working 24/7, and in between one day maintenance or something like that. So you have to run it 24/7. So you should have people to run it. Okay, so that is capacity utilization, making maximum utilization of the capacity. Now see your classes. Since the time you joined, you must have seen either you had morning 8 to 12:30 class or 2 to 5:30. Okay, sorry, 1 to 5:30. See, why is that? That is capacity utilization. We had limited classrooms. One classroom is allotted for every section. See, for example, A and CC, a room number is given, AB5301, for example. So when morning class is there, you are there. Afternoon, everybody has lab. That room is vacant. Like that for aeronautical, AB1, say AB5 325 is given to aeronautical. Morning they were there, afternoon they had some lab, room is vacant. So we are not getting anything out of it. So we made this kind of shift system. So morning you will be there. When you go to lab, say you are junior, third sem, or someone will have classes there. It's like that. So that is capacity utilization. So you can maximize the returns if you have this kind of shift systems. Okay, that is one thing. And you know this kind of things can help you when you are doing some kind of student jobs and all. Okay, doesn't happen much in India, but in abroad and all, you must have seen, you know, working in the off time to support yourself. So this kind of things can help you there. Okay, now disadvantage, if you see, one is supervision in the night shift becomes difficult. Okay, since I have done night shifts in my life when I was in the industry, I know the pain. Okay, supervision becomes difficult, it's not easy. And there is a fatigue factor. See, for example, I did the night shift, night 10 to 6. Okay, and then 6 o'clock I am going home, and when I sleep, some neighbors are playing some music, kids are playing, something is happening, disturbance, then you cannot sleep. You are trying to sleep, then broad daylight, then you feel like going to market, eating this, eating that, you're doing something, watching TV, your sleep is disturbed. Then you have tension again, today night I have to go, then more stress, then again you cannot sleep. So finally it's affecting you. Okay, so these kind of things can happen sometimes in these night shifts. Okay, it can And sometimes in shift systems there can be a problem in coordination, okay, because the manager who was in the morning shift, he has done something, and you are in the night shift, you have to carry forward from there, and if something is there, he is not available, it's a problem for you. So such things can happen. And when people are doing overtime, you'll have to pay extra. Usually in industries, overtime means you are paid double. Okay, so your shift was morning 6 to 2, afternoon 2 o'clock, the reliever has not come, so you are asked to continue the shift. So for continuing the shift, if your salary is 500 per day, for that shift you will be given 1000 rupees. 500 for the normal work, 500 extra for the overtime. So these kind of things, it can come with some extra cost. So there is some disadvantage, but if you look at the advantage where there is 24/7 requirement, capacity utilization, this will help you. Okay. Yeah, 1 second. Just have a look at the figure. Yeah, this is called functional departmentation. See here, what you have to see is the third line there. Okay, marketing, engineering, finance, production. Like this, there can be n number of divisions. So what has happened here? People are grouped together here based on the specialization, based on the functions they are going to do. So this is called functional departmentation. So you are MBA finance, so you are not put in marketing, so you are put in that finance department. Okay, you are MBA HR, so you will be in that HR department. You are a engineer, mechanical engineer, so you are in the production department. You are something else, you will be put into departments according to that. So this is your functional departmentation. Okay, under that marketing there are different divisions, okay, depending on companies. There is planning, promotion, sales. Okay, in engineering there is design, R&D, quality. So in finance there is budget, cost accounting, like that. So different ways to depart. There is no hard and fast rule that everybody should follow this only. Depending on the market, depending on your organization, is it Indian or MNC or whatever, so many things. These things can change, but the crux is the same. Okay, you're categorizing people based on the functions. So this is your functional departmentation. So you will have some president, vice president or whatever. Under them, the marketing head, engineering head, finance head, production head, and then the other things in your department. So what can be the advantages and disadvantages of this? Okay, see, since people are specialized in that, okay, you can think of going for expansion, your work can go faster, okay, your goals can be reached faster, because everybody is you know the what do you say, from the same thing, same stream. So you can have synergize and then grow. Sometimes what happens is slow response time, you know mm, because of shifting the burden kind of things, and there can be less coordination with other departments. Our department target should be met, we should look like that achievers, so we will not call these things happens. I have seen that there is production and maintenance department, and production wants to show that they are great, maintenance want to show that they are great, quality departments want to show they are great, so they will find fault in everything. Maintenance people will make sure that there is less breakdown. So when big breakdown is there, they'll try to hide it, telling that it's okay, you can run the production, so that breakdown will happen in next month when you have when you have met all the target this month. So these kind of things can happen. Okay, so there are both advantages and disadvantages also. See, now if you look at geographical departmentation, see, this is same functional put in a different way. See, there will be always overlap now. Okay, there is nothing totally distinct, totally unique. Everything is a hangover of the other thing. Now if you look at this geographical, there are two vice presidents, so under them there is functional. Now we first saw functional, putting people according to functions. Here we are doing same, but in two different geographical areas. That is called geographical departmentation. So you have a, say, Coke or Pepsi plant. So US operations, European operations, Asian operations, like that you will have, and then you will have the functional departmentation under them. So very simple. See, now the things will become easy and easy. Now you can see departmentation by process or equipment. As simple as that. Based on the process you are following, or based on the equipment that you have used, your departmentation. Okay, now say you're making a table, so there will be someone to cut it, someone to saw it, someone to polish it, someone to join it. So with this kind of process, we have made different department: cutting department, sewing department, assembly department, okay, finishing department, packaging department, like that. So people are put in that. So one advantage is, more efficient workflow of activities, and the disadvantage is this cannot be applied for everything. Okay, there is a limit for this, but if it is done, it's useful sometimes where it can be done. So you are making laptops, so it's good that this is monitor department, this is assembly department, this is the keyboard department, this is the bag department, there's the packaging, so you can move faster. And you know that if the configuration changes, it's going to change, you can equip easily to that. So that is one advantage of this process and equipment. See, departmentation by customer. Now it's getting easier and easier. So as the name suggests, you are categorizing based on the customers you handle. Say your firm is handling different customers, say foreign customer, domestic customer, wholesale customer, retail customers. So for each thing you are making different departments. So all the query goes to them. Okay, instead of one person sitting and answering all and don't know anything. So foreign customers, okay, send it to that department, counter number 6, or something else, you go to this department. See, when you came here for first year admission, you must have seen here orientation or something. When you asked why you were sent, okay, ENC, go to AB, what is it, NLH 204. Okay, aeronautical, go to NLH 305. You can answer you can get your queries answered there. Why? Because there those department people are sitting there and they know how to handle it. Otherwise, if the four people sitting outside from different four branches, they may not be able to handle everything. You may come and ask, my son has got into UNC. Now, what are the programs he will be learning? What are the projects people have done? What kind of companies are coming? Give me some 5 company names. What is the basic package? What is the highest package? What is the CGPA cutoff? And will they give internships or placement? Will the internship gets converted? All are genuine questions. People really want, they seek answers for this. But if the people outside sitting are from printing and mechanical, they may not give you correct. So okay, ENC, go to this place. That proper ENC people will be sitting. They will tell you, okay, for third sem we have this software, then we have that kind of lab, then we have semiconductors, then we have this, that, so many things. So it is very clear. Okay, so that is departmentation by customers. Based on the customers you handle, you make the departments. Okay. See, now there is an overlap between customer and product. So product is, again, instead of customer, based on the product you are handling. Okay, now say you are going to SBI for some reason, and they are telling lunch ke baad. Okay, you are going after lunch only. Now you have gone asking for, you know, say home loan. So that person will search in that pile of forms he has, and he'll give you some form and then tell 3 photos to Aadhaar card copy, something he'll tell, and then you realize it's wrong. Okay, so you cannot blame him because he got confused with the student loan. So what they do? It's a home loan, counter number 9. Student loan, counter number 3. Password change, counter number 4. Account opening, counter number 1. The foreign exchange, currency, counter number 11. And like this, different things that you have. Home loan, or vehicle loan, laptop loan, or personal loan, whatever. For different counters they are sending you. Why? Because they will handle only those forms. So things become easier. You have correctly gone to home loan department, he'll correctly tell you, you know, 4 Aadhaar cards, I mean, sorry, 4 passport size photograph, one guarantor, Aadhaar card, your Aadhaar card, 6 months bank statement, this, that, they'll give you correct things. So like that, if you look at, it's very helpful instead of one person dealing with everything. So it is based on the product you are handling. Say you are handling, say Bajaj, you are handling two-wheeler, three-wheeler, four-wheeler, heavy. So you have something related to two-wheeler, so you will be directed to two-wheeler department. Okay, like in your supermarket, if you see, that has different sections: frozen food, fresh food, dairy foods, then juices, biscuits, fast moving consumer goods, like that, different departments. So it becomes easy for people to handle it. Okay. Now coming to that last departmentation, it is called matrix departmentation. Okay, this is very important. Sometimes this question is asked for 3 marks. Draw and explain matrix departmentation and explain its advantages and disadvantages. Even in the recent one of the exams, this question was asked, not directly, but with some small twist. I'll show that next time. But the answer was matrix departmentation. One thing you always remember is whenever matrix departmentation is asked, you write one line straight away, whether it is asked or not asked. Now, what is that one line? See, till now we were telling one subordinate, one boss. We have been learning that all the time. But here, if you see, for example, take engineer B. Okay, fourth column, and say third row. If you see at the center there is someone called engineer B. He is reporting to the vice president of engineering, and he is reporting to the project manager also. If you see this structure here, and we were telling all our life only one subordinate, one boss. But here there are two bosses. Okay, so this structure has that problem, but there is a way of handling it. So whenever matrix is asked, you directly write unity of command is violated. The principle of unity of command, one subordinate, one boss, that is violated. Okay, now how, why, and all we'll see. Say matrix departmentation is a combination of functional departmentation and project departmentation. If you ignore the first column there, all the projects, if you ignore, if you see the full diagram, it's a functional organization. If you see functional departmentation, research, sales, engineering, production, finance, and then scientist A for research, sales representative for sales, engineer for engineering. So then you put people into functions. So it's a functional departmentation, which is overlapped by project departmentation. If you see the horizontal lines here, first there is project manager A, and then everyone related to that project A. Project manager B, then everyone related to project B. There is a overlap. Say your Infosys, for example, project manager A, maybe it's a bridge project. Okay, so everyone working on that bridge project. Then you have railway project. Project C is some kind of university, some college educational project. Project D is something related to infrastructure. So people from that project are there. So this is a project departmentation overlapped by functional departmentation. So in this, there's a combination of that one person answering to two bosses. So what is decided in the beginning itself, that you will take all your commands from the project manager only or vice president only. It will be decided that who is going to give the commands, who is going to be the lead in charge, and then commands will be coming from there only. Okay, so that like that we tackle with this problem. Okay, and the advantage is once that project is over, that team can be dissolved, and then you can start a new project with same team with reduced numbers or increased numbers or whatever. So again it will continue. So that is advantage of matrix departmentation. Now if you see my case, I am from humanities and management, and I am teaching aeronautical and E&C. So I am answerable to your HODs also, like once we discuss this in the class. So what should I do? I should answer my HOD or your HOD? I will be answerable to my HOD. It is told clearly. Okay, I am going there as a service provider, but I am answerable to my HOD. That doesn't mean I can do whatever I want, and then because I am not answerable to your HOD, I cannot do anything. I cannot go on a whatever rampage, whatever. But meaning is any communication they will tell my HOD. Okay, see, your staff has come and is taking class, people are not understanding, he is not giving notes, classes are not held properly, whatever, he will tell them. They will tell my HOD. HOD will take action, whatever has to be done. This is the complaint, is it true, is it false, why this is happening, whatever. They will not come and scold me because they are not in my chain of command. Okay, so whenever matrix is asked, write this line: unity of command is violated. Okay. One advantage is, it is oriented towards end results. Like I told you, project by project, the project completion is the result, so everybody working towards that. Okay, professional identification is maintained. See, now I have done BTech, I have done MTech, I have done MS, I have done MBA, marketing, and then I'm teaching aero and E&C. Then I don't want me to be considered as a person of your department. I want my identity. I am from management background. Okay, so that is maintained. Correct. Now I'm teaching you not technical subject, management based subject. My professional identification is maintained like that. I am working for, I am expert in say civil construction related bridge related thing. I'm working for that some other project. My identity is maintained. Even though I'm working here, I am a civil engineer with this background like that. Okay, advantage is pinpoints product profit responsibility. That means because of this kind of chain, you can cleanly spot where is the bottleneck, where is the problem happening, why the production is not happening faster. That is because the things are stuck at the sales engineer C. Okay, the engineer C, the sales engineer, his sales are not happening. That's why the profit has come down. There is some problem there. Okay, because of this this small entity, the bridge completion is not happening, but means some bill is pending there, that funds are not released, so you can see that this person is yet to sign that and send, so you can pinpoint this kind of things. So disadvantage, unity of command is violated. Okay, I already told 10 times, you should not forget it now. See, conflict in organizational authority exists. Okay, this is possible because I'm in this department, I am coming to your department also. you know in our department, I may be a senior person, but in front of your department there are more seniors than me, so there can be some kind of conflict in this authority, who is senior, which department is better, whatever, like this. Okay. And requires manager effective in human relations, like I told you, two bosses handling one person, plus there are many similar like this, so effectively you should manage. Manager must have some skills, okay, to effectively tackle. If any complaint is there, sort it formally, in a decent way, without creating much issue. If you want to reprimand someone, do it in a nice way, so that he is not offended, others also know that disciplinary action is being taken, like that. So some kind of effectiveness is required by the manager in handling this. So this is your matrix departmentation. So if this is asked, you should be able to draw this kind of structure. I'm not telling exactly what is this, let me exactly replicate this, nothing like that. Show some functional departmentation, overlap with project departmentation, and then write one or two advantages and disadvantages and explain accordingly. That should be it. Okay. Yeah, coming to this line and staff, that time I told you, if you are making an organizational chart, where will this director's PA come into picture? So if you see the second box there on top, director's PA is there, but shown in dotted line. That means that person is a staff reporting to director above others in the chain, but doesn't have the authority on others. Okay, same way with your quality inspector or HR managers. HR managers are just parallel departments. They have no, people may think I should be scared of HR manager. No, HR manager is parallel to me. He is reporting to director, but above us in the chain, but has no authority on us. That person cannot task us why you are coming late, why you are doing this, why production is less. No, mind your business kind of thing. That's why we show these people in dotted lines. They are above you because you have to show them somewhere. No, if you show them at the bottom, then you have to pull a huge big curve and join. So for that, they are put where they are reporting. They are above us, but not in authority. That's why we show them in dotted lines. So this is your line and staff concept. Okay, so organizational chart, line and staff. Yeah, I think we can take a small 2 minutes break. I'm very exhausted physically and mentally. Mm, yeah, anybody has any doubts at this point?